should get into the Who Would Win of the Week presented by 13 Monkeys All American Whiskey.
Okay, let's do
Drink
it.
responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yep.
Drink responsibility. Responsibility, you can drink.
Yeah, if you have it, if you have responsibility, you can drink. If you don't have it, have a drink and see if you get some.
Okay. We might need to cut that.
I'm just kidding. I don't know how it works. I don't know which one comes first.
The chicken.
Because it says
the
drink
booze,
responsibly.
am I right?
It says drink responsibly. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's what people say. Drink responsibly.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've never known what it means. It's some weird colloquialism.
Yeah. Andrew's, yeah.
Nailed that word. Put me in a spelling
This
bee,
week's
baby.
Who Would Win of the Week, brought to you by 13 Monkeys All American Whiskey, Drink Responsibly, is Indiana Jones versus
Will Turner.
Will Turner, the blacksmith turned pirate.
Yes.
Probably still does some smithing in his time, though. While
You
he's a
think
pirate.
so?
I feel like pirates got a smith.
Spoiler alert for Pirates of the Caribbean. He's like He's Davy Jones now.
I think.
So
How many are they on?
they have done.
I might have missed one if that's the case.
Okay, ready?
No.
No. Because he becomes Davy Jones in the third one. Remember what happens is
His dad's there, and he kind of sells himself to Davy.
No,
I thought they killed Davy Jones.
Yeah, and whoever kills him becomes the next Davy Jones, and that's what.
Is there a
Will
movie
Turner.
after that?
Yes. There's so in the third one, that's when Will Turner takes the place of Davy Jones, and then the fourth one is the one that is like has nothing to do with the rest. Like Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, they aren't in it.
Yeah.
And then the last one they came out with, Dead Men Tell No Tales. He is in that one, but not.
I thought
like
Dead
a
Man
little
Tells
bit.
No Tales was like.
It goes Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, fucking amazing movie to this day.
Mm-hmm.
On Stranger Tides fucking sucks, and then Dead Men Tell No Tales is only tolerable because the fourth one was so bad. And Javier Bardem is in it, and that guy is number one. That guy rules. Also, best James Bond villain of all time. I'm just gonna say it right now. Javier Bardem.
Did you see the new James Bond yet? What's it called?
No Time to Die.
Circumcised? I knew it was something like that.
Jimmy B.
Did you see it yet?
No.
Okay.
Heard it's good.
I want to see it.
Me too.
I heard Venom's good.
The new one?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard mixed things about it. It's
I
very
also
short.
heard that other new Marvel movie's good.
The Eternals?
Ninja Guy.
Ninja Guy?
Yeah. I don't know what
Ninja
it's
Guy
called.
the movie? They made Ninja Guy into a movie? That's
No,
weird.
but you know the guy that does karate.
Oh, Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
That movie did rule. That movie was sick.
There you go.
So this Who Would Win? Now it's interesting to bring up Davy Jones though, because that
So-
obviously plays a role now.
Question.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't play a role. 1 through 3. Will Turner 1 through 3.
But he does technically become Davy Jones at the end of 3.
Yeah, but we never see him as Davy Jones. Do you see it in 5?
Oh yeah.
Well, we're 1 through 3. I've never seen 5. I didn't even know that was.
All right, so Will Turner 1 through 3. So
the Pirates of the Caribbean is 1 through 3.
Agreed.
So we're doing the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, fine. Just
Will
the
Turner.
strictly Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mhm.
Will Turner. Okay, so and who's he going up against?
Indiana Jones.
Oh wow, that's crazy. I completely forgot.
Mariah Carey.
God, I wish.
Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay.
Both. Let me ask you this: which one of those two do you think is braver?
Will Turner or Indiana Jones?
Yeah, because I think Will Turner might be braver than Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I would say so. But Indiana Jones consistently, well, not consistently, but at least twice, takes on the entire Nazi regime by himself.
Right.
But also different because Will Turner has brass balls for sure.
Yeah, but here's the. Let's here's the question. What does the word bravery mean? Because Will Turner doesn't seem to be really afraid. He just does things. Indiana Jones is afraid, but he
things.
still does them. So does
Yeah.
that make him more brave than Will Turner?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Will Turner is more courageous because he has less fear,
Love it.
whereas Indiana Jones is more
Brave.
or is it the opposite? Or are brave and courageous synonyms?
I think they are synonyms, but
Fuck.
we know what you're saying, I think.
There's got to be a word out there for.
Yeah. Send in your words right now.
Yeah.
P.O. Box 149er Delta, Hollywood, California. And give that Hitler a crack. Bow. That's how the song goes.
I know. I didn't think you were gonna do it.
Of course I was going to.
All right. Another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whip,
Yeah.
sword.
Have to.
Okay. No guns.
No guns.
Okay. Because Indy does shoot.
Yeah. He's a crack shot.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that
And
phrase
so
in a long
is.
time.
So is Will.
Yeah. Because he shoots Barbosa.
Mhm.
That's a great shot.
I think Will Turner.
Really.
I'm gonna say right off the bat.
I think maybe Indiana Jones, and let me
Can I
tell
tell-
you why. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because Will is going to be on the offensive right away. Indy is kind of very comfortable playing defense. He's really good at dodging and moving around and swaying, and then so I also think that he understands very well going up against an opponent with a weapon that potentially is being outgunned, really, right? And not literally with a gun, but in this case with a sword. Like, he, I think, understands a lot of the mechanics of fighting someone who has a sword when you don't. I think he...
Are you saying that only because of Temple of Doom? Is that the first? Is that there's Raiders? Which one's the first one? Raiders of the Lost
Yeah.
Ark. Oh yeah, and he fights all the people with the swords.
And he does, and I mean,
He does a
there's
couple
swords
times.
in
Yeah.
Temple of Doom
Yeah.
as well.
I was crossing over.
So I think what would happen is Will is on the defensive, and Indiana Jones, he's kind of moving, and then without Will realizing it, maybe Indiana Jones traps him under like a big thing of watermelons, right? And then he hits a pole, and all these watermelons fall down on top of Will Turner. Or he, Will Turner lunges, and Indy like, whoa, dodges it, and then like wraps his hand in a ribbon or whatever, like twirls around him, trips him up. That could happen.
So, counterpoint to that, Will Turner fights very creatively like that as well. And you see that right from the get-go, and it continues on through his Pirates career. You see it right from his first encounter with Jack when they're in the blacksmith shop, whatever. Continuing on to that, and these weren't going to coexist, but they are now because you said both points. Will Turner, not afraid of a whip, has been whipped many of time.
Yeah.
Also, with that being said, has an extremely high kind of like pain tolerance and like has been physically defeated in moments and still gone on to win many of time. Indy doesn't ever really lose fights. Like, he'll get captured and he'll be kind of held captive and make his
There'll
escape
be like a
from there.
dribble of blood out of the corner
Yeah.
of his mouth.
But I don't know that his pain tolerance is as high. And also you have this to consider. So Indy, so say Indy, does get a hold of the sword with the whip. I think it then becomes a hand-to-hand combat fight.
Sure.
Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? I think either the pole and they both lose, or the whip, when he whips back, he then has no whip himself.
Right.
The problem here to me lies, and again, I know that Will Turner can take a beating and continue to fight. Indy yes and no. We don't know for sure. Part of that, though, again, might come in because of the time difference in which the two movies were made. The fight scenes in Indiana Jones are a lot different, almost slightly laughable at this point in time. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of...
Okay, I can understand that, yeah.
So maybe the reason that we don't really see him take a beating is because they couldn't make him take a beating.
Sure. But let's consider, I mean, speaking about time, we should certainly consider the time period that both of these characters come from. I think Will comes from a time where the sword or the gun really is the way to go. I'm sure maybe he's like done a little boxing or something like that. But even so, maybe not, because
sword
that's
fighting,
kind of
though, there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat when it comes to sword fighting in those movies, because there's a lot of swords being lost.
Right.
You know, a lot of oppo hand.
But usually what happens is if your sword flies out of your hand in those movies, you
find
grab
your
the
sword.
rope next to you and
jump
then
up.
Yeah.
But again, so that's where I go to the point that goes to my point about the watermelons, where you're like, oh, you know, Indy would watermelon. No, Will Turner sees that coming from a mile away. I think they both are trying to do the same thing, and it counteracts. Because to me,
I just don't
we're
see
getting off track
okay.
if I say what I'm about to say.
I just don't see that with Will. I think especially if Will is on the offensive and Indy is doing what he does, dodging like that. Because if you'll notice, most of the time when Indy is fighting somebody, the other person always thinks that they're in control. Sometimes they are, but a lot of times they're not.
I think that to me, Will Turner doesn't need to be in control at all times to win a fight. And why I say that, because there's, again, he has so.
But I think he'd fall prey to that.
Can I ask you a question? And it's one answer. We're not discussing it because it'll get us really off task. And I preface this by saying correlation does not represent causation. Who wins in a fight? Will Turner, Jack Sparrow? Just answer.
Yeah. I feel Jack is my gut feeling.
Okay. Who wins in a fight? Jack Sparrow, Indiana Jones.
Jack again.
Okay. See, I probably would have said that. I mean, we're not discussing this any further. I probably would have said that Will would inevitably beat Jack in a fight, whereas Indiana Jones, I'm not sure. The thing about Jack Sparrow when he's fighting Indiana Jones is he just has this incredible luck that follows him.
Right. But I think that Indy kind of has some of that luck.
I think
and that would help him out against
that
Will.
Indy makes his own luck.
Right. And I genuinely think that, to go back to like a watermelon, some scenario like that, I do think that Will, while on the offensive, really feeling himself, thinking he's got this guy, would potentially not notice if Indy started to put things in place.
Okay.
I don't think he would.
And you do actually also see that in times where he maybe
is a little too confident.
For a quick second shows that overconfidence, and will sometimes, take two steps back because of it in the fight. But the fight isn't over at that point for him. You know what I mean? He recovers. He is a pretty smart fighter when and I don't think that Indy has necessarily the ability to take out Will Turner instantly because of that first mistake or that first lapse in confidence. And so then once Will Turner gets through that setback, then he'll win the fight.
Gotcha. I think that's just where we ultimately disagree.
So you think that Turner's first setback induced by Indy's kind of cleverness would lead directly to his demise almost instantly?
Yeah.
See, I don't. So there it is. So I guess that's what we do.
Yeah.
We lock that in. I'm taking Will Turner.
And I'm going Indiana Jones.
I think it's a good fight.
It is a pretty good fight.
I'm not saying that, at any given Sunday. We know how it goes.
Right.
But I just, to me, the way that Indy fights with the whip and the way that Will Turner fights with the sword assuming they inevitably end up in a hand-to-hand combat situation, it goes to Will Turner. I think he's got a... I don't know. They're both gritty. We already locked it in. Vote on that on Friday on Instagram. Who would win of the week?
Presented by 13 Monkeys
Presented
All
by
American Whiskey.
13 Monkeys All American Whiskey. Drink responsibly.